Hello crafters and welcome to P2PCrafts Online, brought to you by From Picture to Page and Beyond Papercraft shows, our scrapbooking, mixed media art, paper crafting, art journaling and card making community. Now P2PCraft Online is bringing you over 30 demonstrations from our local retailers and some talented guest artists, and all the details are over at our website from picture to page and beyond.com.au, where you can see all the links, all the products that we've used, of course, catch up on the replays. Now, while you're over there, make sure you join our mailing list so you can get all of those updates straight into your inbox and you don't have to worry about missing a thing. Now, I'm Michelle Brown. I'm your host here this evening, and I'm the Creative Director From Picture to Page, and I really am an avid paper crafter, mixed media artist and art journalist, and I am so excited to be bringing you this demonstration today. Now, firstly, we must thank our sponsors. So firstly, we have Uniquely Creative, who's doing gorgeous kits with their Creative Kit Club. So each month you get everything you need, as well as instructions to put some fantastic little projects together. So we really do thank Uniquely Creative for their support this show. And also, of course, Darkroom Doors, who make gorgeous red rubber stamps and stencils, family-owned company in New South Wales, and they really do pride themselves on supporting independent retailers and continuing to support crafters through their online videos and classes. So thank you both very much for your support. Now, whether you're watching here live on Facebook or you're watching a replay or here on YouTube, we would love to know that you're there. So pop in the comments, say hello, ask any questions, and we will do our very best to get to them. Now today, P2PCrafts is online with Crafters Cupboard and Dannii. Hi, Dannii.
Going.
We are so excited to have Crafters Cupboard back with us today. So for those of you that may haven't met you before, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, I've been working with Crafters Cupboard for about 7 years now. We do a lot of art journaling and mixed media. We're more mixed media based. We have the biggest range of paper artsy in Australia, so we have a huge collection. Everyone knows Tracy Scott and Lynn Perella and Seth Apter, all those sort of artists work for Paper Artsy. So there's a great range. If you haven't heard of that, then pop on to the website and have a look at what you're missing out on. They also have a great range of paints and things as well. So I've been working and doing art journaling classes with them for the last 7 years, and I've been doing mixed media, card making and scrapbooking for probably 20-something years maybe.
Oh, gosh. Oh, excellent. And have you seen a lot of changes over that time?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I started with the sticking stickers and stuff down basically when I was doing scrapbooking, and now when I look back at it and think, you know, there's so much more out there. So it's always changing. There's always new products and there's always something to be learnt. So I think that's why I really enjoy the industry.
Yeah, and there is something like looking back on your early artwork. It's kind of looking like back at your teenage photos. They're all a bit challenging to review.
Absolutely, it can be really scary.
Oh, exactly. Fantastic. So, Dannii, what have you got to share with us today?
So I wanted to talk to you about doing art journaling, but in a diary sort of form, and I think that's kind of apt for what we're doing at the moment with this pandemic. So I've been really inspired by a lot of talented ladies out on the internet that have been keeping a journal or a diary as such, and sort of recording things. So I just wanted to show you what I've been up to in my diary and how to lay out a page to get you started, basically.
Excellent. Okay, well, we'll let you get ready and then we'll jump into it.
Awesome.
Thanks, Dannii. Fantastic. Well, hello. Oh, I can see Marlene there joining us today. Hello, Kathy. Hi, Michelle, Lisa. Now, did I see someone said they were sneaking in one more before dinner? Shell, I hope you don't have starving family and furry friends. That would be bad. We wouldn't want our craft to make our family go hungry, would we? That wouldn't be good at all. So it looks like excellent. Now we've got ourselves organised. I'll hand back over to Dannii. Take it away, Dannii.
Hi, thanks for having me. Sorry about that. Technical difficulties, I'm well known for it. So I wanted to talk to you about creating a diary in a journal as such. So you might have seen Diane makes these gorgeous little journals, the dialogues, and some of them are already coloured. You can get them in plain, you can get them in dots. And so I've been using these to record in. I also have used other sorts of notebooks and such. I'll just quickly show you this one. So this is one from last year that I'd started, and it's just basically a little bit of arting and, recording things that are important to you on the day. They're lots of fun. It's creating a practice, which I find the hardest. I tend to do it for a few weeks and then I miss a couple, and then before I know it, I'm starting a new diary. So Jennifer from Crafters Cupboard was great and sent me down her little samples. So she's done August and September in these dialogues. So I just wanted to quickly flick through those and just show you what another person's perspective on keeping an art journal diary is like as well. Most people have seen what Diane Reevely's been doing with her day by days, and it's kind of a spin-off of that, really. So you can see she's just using a lot of art by Marlene in here and using her little die cuts and washi tapes and things, and she's just recording what's important to her on those days. So there's some really lovely little bits and artsy things. She's cut out waves, adding photos, obviously, beautiful little tip pins, and she's cut pages out there as well. And then she's got a little bit more creative, but just using what you've got in your stash, which is all really important because we collect so much and we tend not to use it. So this is a great way of having a little bit of art form, but also keeping notes and what's important. So this is a great little, she's popped a little pocket in here. So those ones are really neat. And this is the one I've been working in. So Ranger have these, or Diane has her little folders, and you can keep them in these folders as such. So there's a few little pages there as well. A little bit heavily influenced with Marlene there as well. And this one's the one I've started for this month. So we're using a little bit of paper artsy, which is what Crafters Cupboard is known for. So these are some great little stamps, and I've used the dialogue that's already pre-done, so I don't have to worry about doing my backgrounds. Mm-hmm. Created a diary in the front, and I'm just going to put my notes in there, what's important on those days. And then I've just sort of started with some paper artsy stamps. I've done a little bit of hand drawing, some quotes to keep things positive. These are Carabella stamps, so I'm just using those numbers throughout the book just to keep a bit of a theme happening.
Yeah, they're fantastic. What a great size.
Yeah, and they are really good for planning and for your art journaling and scrapbooking. They come in the numbers and ABCs, so, or your alphabet, should I say.
That too.
And I'm just using some planner stickers. So we all collect those planner stickers because, we all have good intentions of doing things.
True.
So I've got lots of those planner stickers everywhere. So I'm just trying to use them up. So here I've done a little bit of collage, just book papers and things, and then I've stamped over the top. A little bit more hand drawing, and these are paper artsy stamps as well. So I think I've got some in here. Yeah. So again, just sort of note-taking what's important throughout the day, keeping some positive quotes, and again, just a bit of stamping. So nothing really hard, but enough just to keep the practice going, which I think is really important. As you can see, I've got a bit of a theme happening with the little girls. A bit more paper artsy stamping here, more planner stickers. So, and then going on to more paper artsy stamps. And just reoccurring with those Carabelle numbers. So I thought today we will do a double spread in this page, and I'm going to use the Lynn Perella paper artsy stamp set. This is a really cute one with this sort of terrarium ladies, which kind of goes with my flow. So I've stamped that out already because I'm very aware that I won't go overtime like I normally do. So these are all stamped out, and what we're going to do is start with the background first. So I've actually picked a really lovely stencil from Stencil Girl, and we've got these in stock at Crafters Cupboard. So I'm going to use that, and I'm just going to stencil a little bit on the background. It's already quite busy, so I'm just going to pick the same similar colours, and I'm going to use the Distress Oxide in Picked Raspberry and Abandoned Coral. And I'm just going to lightly stencil that on. So just, we'll start with the Picked Raspberry. And I'm just going to do a bit of a border, basically. So just in circular motions and just lightly covering the stencil there. Try not to move it too much so I don't get double ghost prints there. And this will just give us a little bit more extra texture in the background. I always forget to use my Distress Oxides. They kind of get put away and then I discover them again.
That's always fun to discover things in your own stash.
It is. It's always nice to find those things that you've not used for a while.
Yeah. Now, Kathy was just asking, do you decorate it and then write in it? Sort of, is it a two-step process or you do it all in one go?
Yeah, I like to decorate it first. So sometimes I'll even do a couple of pages ahead of time and then go back in and write on the day. So it might be in the evening after I finished work. I'll go back in and do a little bit of writing there as well. So the process that I like, or what I enjoy about doing is diary keeping, is really, I'm doing a little bit of art because I work in a florist shop and it's really busy. And so sometimes I don't get to do a lot of art until the weekend. And, you know, I'm kind of itching. So this kind of appeals to me. I can go out into my little van and do a little bit of art. It might only be half an hour, but it's just enough to, you know, tie me over until the weekend.
Yeah. Now, we've just got a couple of questions about the books, Dannii. Pat was just asking, are the books ready-made?
Yes, they are. So these are the dialogue by Ranger. And so they do come in plain white so that you can do your own stuff. They have pre-decorated pages and they come in 2 or 3 different designs so you can choose. You don't have to have the same book every month. And then they have ones for your dot journaling, and there's probably 7 or 8 designs in the whole of the range. So you can sort of pick and choose what suits you and what you want to do. And you can make it your own then.
Yeah, and then on the same vein, Michelle was just asking if they do come blank, and I know that you can get blank ones as well.
They do come in blank, and it's the same paper that she uses in her art journals, so it's good quality. You can throw a bit of water on it and a bit more of the mixed media stuff as well. You don't have to use just, you know, light pencils or anything like that. You can watercolour in them and you can slap paint in them and all that sort of stuff, which is always really fun.
Yeah, and Kathy was just asking, what are the size of the books?
Oh,
so
let me have a look.
Travel diary size. So that's
so they're approximately 20 centimetres or 8 inches wide and 21 centimetres long.
Yeah, so it's almost square, isn't it? Not quite.
Yeah, but they definitely fit in the traveller's notebooks. So, you know, like Diane's actually got her own one here, so you can sort of sit them in there. And these come in different designs as well. So you can pick it up, stick it in your handbag and travel with it, which is really awesome. And I find this is not too intimidating. I keep coming back to smaller because I'm still trying to build my practice of doing it every day. So I find working small kind of encourages me to keep it up a bit longer.
And Marlene's popped on as well. She wanted to know if you were reading all of Jennifer's secrets in her book.
No, I'll be in trouble if I do that. Yes.
We might be better not knowing what Jennifer's been up to.
Exactly. She's a busy woman. She could be up to all sorts of things. So, no, I haven't read everything in there. I'm being very discreet. All right, so talking about Marlene, I've got my little background stamps, the exclusive textures by Marlene.
Ooh.
And these are great. They're a little bit hard to get by, but I do know that Crafters Cupboard have quite a few still in stock. So if you've missed out on these in the past, then you probably need to get on and grab some, because these are great.
I don't think I've seen them before.
Oh, you haven't? Oh, these are amazing. So there's lots of little stamps to choose from. I just put them in the tin so I can have them on my desk all the time. And they're just mark-making stamps. So if you see my lids there, there's different designs. So it came out in probably 2 releases ago, I think it was now, just before the Dutch collection.
Right.
And they're a great little set for mark making. So I'm just going to quickly choose one here.
Yep. And Marlene's just popped its number on the screen as well. That makes it easier for us to search on the Crafters Cupboard website.
Isn't it great to have Marlene on to help us out with that? So I'm just going to stamp them randomly on my background. And it's just going to add a little bit more of my own uniqueness on my page. So it's not all about Diane now.
No. And it's fun to have some coloured ink sometimes too.
Oh, absolutely. I love these archivals. So they come in lots of different colours. And you also can get the minis as well. But I'm a bit greedy. I have to have both. So, yeah. And these are just really handy to have for everything. I can imagine that you could use them in your card making and your scrapbooking. They would really appeal to most people, even if you weren't really into mixed media. Just that little bit of mark making without having to really think about it. So these are a great stamp set. Okay, so I've just done that little bit of background stamp there. And I'm just going to grab a little bit of black. So I'm going to use this script here in the ESN10, which is a very great handy little stamp set from Papercrafts. It's my go-to. And I'm just going to do a little bit of script in the background. And I'm not using a block here. I'm just wanting a little bit of not perfect sort of stamping. I just want it to be a little bit random. So just adding a little bit of dark contrast to what's happening in that busy background.
So I've just found that stamp set on the Crafters Cupboard website and popped the link into the comments. So maybe there'll be just a few sets left for those lucky crafters today.
Awesome.
Ooh, it says in stock. I'm not sure how many, but it does say in stock.
I did speak to Jennifer last week, and she has all of Marlene's stuff, and she has quite a range, and a lot of the old stuff too that people are finding hard to get. So if you love Marlene's stuff, then you'll definitely need to go shop there as well. So again, just a little bit more background stamping, and I think that will do because it's going to get too busy otherwise.
Okay, Olivia tells us you've got 9 left. That's great to know.
There you go. Get on the board, ladies. Jump on board and grab them. All right. So I've already stamped this out. I'm just going to quickly show you how easy it is to colour them up. I'm using Prisma colour pencils, but you can obviously use whatever you've got. I like the Prismas because they're nice and soft. And just sort of go in and colour this face up. I'm not going to go into all the details because I've already coloured some in, but I just wanted to show you how easy it is to colour them up with just your ordinary pencils.
Yeah, and it is good to remember to go back to your pencils sometimes as well.
Oh, absolutely. And especially if you're taking this with you, you know, you might go on holidays.
Like to the backyard.
Yes. Well, that's what I'm doing. I'm out in the backyard in my caravan.
That's a great idea.
That's about as far as I'm getting anywhere. Being in Melbourne, we're just not getting anywhere, are we?
No, we certainly aren't. Oh well,
But at
more
least we're
time to
safe.
craft, hopefully.
Yes, exactly. So you can see how quickly that's coming up with just a few colour pencils. And I'm not doing anything special. I'm no master at colouring here. But you can really get them quite pretty. And I'll just pull out my ones I've already made so that you can see what they look like. Let's have a look. Here we go. So there's one coloured up already. And we're going to use those now. So I'll just pop those pencils, that one away.
And you've already done some fussy cutting. Thank you.
I have. I thought I can't have Marlene waiting on me. I'm going to make sure that I'm on time today.
Could you imagine?
All right.
My goodness.
I know, hard to believe, right? I'm a bit of a slow worker, so it's not always the best to have me on after or on a short schedule, should I say. I tend to go overtime all the time. So I'm just using a little bit of book paper. It's an old book that I've gotten from the op shop, and I'm just going to start collaging a little bits of pieces in. So I'm just tearing little strips, and I'm just going to lay them down and kind of audition them into the book, see where I want them, what I'm happy with. And if you tear towards yourself, you sort of get that rough, fluffy edge, which always looks really good. Because these stamps are a little bit vintage looking, I thought we need a little bit of book paper to go with it. Yeah, I think maybe a bit like that. I found a little bit of corrugated board in my stash, so you can buy this at the scrapbook shops, or, you know, tear up a box or something like that as well. So I'm just going to do the same thing, add a little bit of corrugated board.
It's just one of those supplies. You never want to throw it away when you get your hands on some.
No, I've got drawers full of tissue papers and things that have been wrapped and packaging, and it all comes in handy at some point. So I never throw too much out, unfortunately. Hence why I've had to move out in the backyard.
Oh, dear.
Was overtaking everything, I think. All right, so I'm pretty happy with that. Just want to leave a bit of room for my journaling in there, I think. So I'm going to get my distress ink out, and I'm just going to quickly edge those papers and we'll glue them down, which will just sort of add to the little bit of vintage look that I'm going for. I can't believe I haven't used these in so long. You pull them out and you think, oh, why haven't I used these? These are so lovely.
I know. Wasn't that like the original colour of distress? It was all
Yeah,
sepia
and
tones.
it was like, yeah, and vintage photo was like the must ink colour that you all had to have in your collection. Like,
Definitely.
you know, because Tim Holt said so.
Yes, it was nice that we've been allowed to get into some colour as well.
Oh, absolutely, yes. The new colours that have come out, that eggshell, is that eggshell? Yeah, that's really pretty. I really like that. It's really my colour. Nearly matches my nails. Okay. Just roughly edging them. I'm not being too fussy with it. Just wanted to get a little bit of colour on there. And I'm just going to use my glue stick to glue those down. Oh.
Oh, the good old glue stick. I was using that this evening too. I think that's just as acceptable as anything at the moment.
Absolutely. I love the Yoo-hoo sticks. I think they're wonderful. Seems to stick most things down, especially when you're just using little bits of paper and that. So just make sure you get right up on the edges. there.
And Marlene's pointing out that hoarding anything that can be possibly used is like a sub-hobby of mixed media.
Absolutely. It's a must, isn't it? Yeah. Sometimes when you buy things online and they wrap it up really nicely with lovely ribbon or tissue paper, that all goes back into the collection. Oh, I might use that.
Yeah. And when your children start bringing you bits and pieces they find, you know, we've done well.
You've trained them well, yes, absolutely. I haven't quite got there with my kids. They still don't really understand. They're supportive, but yeah, I think they were happy to see me move out of the lounge room and into the backyard.
Okay. Do they let you back in at night, or are you just looking sadly at the window?
No, they let me in.
Oh, that's
they
good.
leave the back door open for me, so when I do crawl back in at 2:00 in the morning.
Oh, Dannii.
The time gets away in here. The dog enjoys my company. He comes out and sits with me.
Yeah, it's like a little time machine.
It is. It's fabulous. All right, so I've just got those little placements there, and I'm quite happy with those. And might stick down the main piece already. So I've got these little awesome fine line applicators, and it's just got a little bit of the art glitter glue in it. I find that's just a little bit stronger. I've stamped on mixed media cardstock, so it's a little bit thicker than your normal card. And I find that's I get a nicer smooth sort of stamp on there. So you can see how fine that is.
Yeah.
Which is really good. Also in stock at Crafters Cupboard. So I'm just going to stick that one down. Isn't that gorgeous?
It is.
It's a really pretty piece. Now, I've just got a few little die cuts that I've just pulled out. These are probably Kaiser, I think. They're just out of my stash. I couldn't even tell you what collection they are because they've come out of that mixed bag of goodies in my drawers that I've been saving for 5, 10, 15 years.
Yeah. Like you said, it's so good to use up those bits where you just keep them, and you know you're going to keep your own day-by-day diaries anyway, so just use them.
Absolutely. And, you can pop receipts in here, and when we get all out to socialise again, you can put your movie tickets in and do all that sort of stuff as well. So there's lots of things that can go in here.
Yeah.
Once you start thinking about it, there'll be lots of things that you can collect. You'll be hoarding napkins when you go out for coffee. And
oh, yes, could you imagine? And here's the first napkin of 2020 when we were allowed to go out again.
My first coffee cup. We'll be going a little bit stir crazy, won't we?
Oh, I think so.
The restaurants have opened up down here, so it's nice to go past and see people actually out and about and enjoying each other's company. I'm lucky to be in the regional area. So I haven't been completely locked down. So just inking up that a little bit more as well. And I've got this is a bit of collage fodder that I found in my drawer, which I thought was kind of appropriate. That kind of fits, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's very good.
I was pretty amazed that it sort of fell out the drawer and I went, ooh. We'll stick this one down.
The craft gods are speaking. This must be used.
They are. It needs to be used, or I'm going to run out of room in this caravan very quickly.
I just have this mental image of you like just being stuck and not being able to get out from like a paper landslide or something. You'll have to send us a Facebook message. Please help.
It's pretty well organised, but give me 12 months in here and I'm sure I'll be one of those hoarder episodes of craft products.
We'll band together. We won't let that happen.
You'll be one of my first point of calls then. I'll have you on my speed dial.
Yes, exactly. We'll have to do what's it called? Like an intervention. And I will look after all your stuff for you, Dannii, okay?
Oh, marvellous. At least it's going to a good home then. Someone who understands.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I've certainly heard of crafters who have a list for their husbands, so if anything happens to them, their husbands know which friends to ring to come and, adopt all the craft supplies. I think that's a great plan.
I've actually had that conversation with my husband too. Now, just get Jennifer down and she can deal with it all. She knows the prices. I'm sure we could pay our mortgage off with what's in the.
Yeah, well, isn't that the running joke? You don't want your husband to sell off everything for the price you told him you paid for it. That would be bad.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, he's quite supportive. I'm lucky enough to get a good discount with Jennifer, so.
I thought you were going to say discount on your husband. That's no good.
No, he actually goes to the flower market for me twice a week, so he has popped in to see Jennifer and pick up some supplies for me. So I have trained one of the family members well.
Yeah.
So
I certainly had my husband by our side today helping us out too. So
awesome. It's good when we can train them well.
I'm too scared to say that because I might get cut off.
Oh, that's right. He's in the background there, isn't he? You're doing an awesome job. Okay, so this is just a little bit more of that collage fodder that I've found in my collection. And I've got some scrapbook paper which I've cut out the little butterflies. So these are all been fussy cut, and I'll just stick those ones down as well. So how are we going for time?
Yeah, we're doing fine. Couple more minutes.
Oh, awesome. I think I'll get there. I shouldn't have spilt all this out onto the table. I'd find it quicker. Oh, okay, never mind. So this is coming along really well. I'm quite happy with it. We've got another little piece, little postage stamp. This is from the stamp set as well. Oh, I'm going to glue that down. This is the beauty of glue stick, isn't it? You can.
I know. Don't you hate that moment where you realise that wasn't quite?
Oops, I wasn't supposed to put that there. There. You wouldn't even know now.
No.
Awesome. All right, so I've got a little bit of room in there. I kind of got a bit carried away. But, you know, it can be an art page and I'll just put a quote. I can write on the next page.
Yeah, you just have to hope that nothing much happens on that day.
Well, I'll be writing all about this awesome class I've just taken. And yeah, so might have to go on the next page. We'll stick that one there, I think. I've got that little 3 points. And that's about it. I'm going to use my number. So, because today's the 9th. And I've just coloured that one in with pencil as well. These aren't Carabella, just fabulous.
Yeah.
And again, they're in stock at Crafters Cupboard. So I'm going to stick that one under the butterfly there, I think. And then I will, that doesn't really work. Just stick the butterfly a bit lower.
Yeah.
Yeah, that works. And I'll put in today's date as Friday. And once this is nice and dry, I can journal in it. So what I've done, just write my little thing for the day. How awesome this class was.
Oh,
and
excellent.
That's basically it. So this could definitely be, you know, a card front, or you could change it into a scrapbook page just using simple stamp sets. So again, the Lynn Perella stamp set, LP C046. And of course, Marlene's exclusive background stamps as well. And a little bit of your collage fodder from your stash. So easy peasy. And you've got a little bit of art in under half an hour.
Yeah, you have. Excellent. Awesome? Well, we'll get you to turn your camera back around and we'll have a quick chat.
Okay, fabulous.
Excellent. So I hope you enjoyed that demonstration. Wasn't it just, again, I just love being able to watch other artists, just see how they pull things together, and some things that go, oh, yeah, I probably would have done it that way, whereas other things like, oh, yeah, I hadn't thought of that. And, yeah, it is great to get back in that stash, pull out all those bits and pieces. And like Dannii said, the great thing about a daily diary or something for yourself is that you can use all those things that you've been saving for a rainy day, because then you don't have to worry about it. So, Dannii, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me. I really enjoyed it.
Excellent. I'm glad we were able to help you get your arting in on a Friday.
I would normally still be at work, so I'm glad to be.
That's worked out well. Excellent. So, like you said, we can find everything over on the Crafters Cupboard website.
Absolutely. And classes hopefully will resume again next year.
Yeah, hopefully not far away. Excellent. So, Dannii, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
It's
Thanks for
been a
having me.
delight. Excellent. So thank you. I hope that's encouraged you to at least go do a little bit of art journaling or card making or something today, and really do consider how you can combine sort of that art journaling art side and a diary, because it is a time where it would be great to look back and just, capture some of these things that have sort of become day to day but will soon be sort of forgotten in the race of time. So thank you all for visiting us today. Thank you for your support of Crafters Cupboard. Head over to their website, check out their gorgeous range of art by Marlene and Paper Artsy and all the other bits and pieces they've got. And as Dannii said, make sure you're on their mailing list so you can find out when their classes open again soon. So thank you for all the likes. Thank you for all the comments. Please continue to share us with your crafting community. And we're just going to have a short break and then we will be back with Marlene herself. So this is Michelle signing off. We hope you have a crafty day.